The studio lights blazed hot, the cameras rolled, and the air inside the set felt like it was charged with static electricity. Millions of Americans were tuned in, waiting for another episode of The View. But this day was different. The producers had been whispering about it all morning, and even the co-hosts couldn't keep the nervous excitement from their faces. Joy Behar had something up her sleeve. She was convinced she had finally found the piece of evidence that would embarrass Senator John Kennedy and silence him once and for all. John Kennedy, the seasoned Louisiana senator with his slow drawl and razor-sharp wit, sat calmly at the end of the long table. He wasn't easily rattled. Over the years, he'd been through countless interviews, debates, and ambushes from political opponents who underestimated him. But today, the tension was unmistakable. Joy Behar leaned in, papers in her hand, and smirked like someone about to play their trump card. "Senator Kennedy," she began, her voice dripping with satisfaction, "we've received a leaked email. And it has your name on it. Would you like to explain this to the American people?" She waved the printed sheets dramatically, her co-hosts glancing nervously at one another. The audience gasped, a ripple of anticipation moving through the studio. The camera zoomed in on Kennedy. He tilted his head, his eyes narrowing slightly, not in fear but in curiosity. Instead of panicking or denying, he leaned forward. "Well, Joy," he said slowly, "if you've got something with my name on it, I reckon it'd be impolite not to read it." The audience stirred, unsure of what was coming. Joy slid the papers across the table, confident that the words in those pages would corner him. She had skimmed them before the show, convinced they contained statements that would be politically damaging, maybe even career-ending. She expected Kennedy to stammer, to backpedal, maybe even to walk off the stage. Instead, Kennedy picked up the papers, adjusted his glasses, and began reading aloud. His voice was steady, rich, and deliberate, each word echoing through the studio like a bell. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, "let's take a look at this email that Joy here thinks is such a scandal." The room grew silent. Kennedy read the email line by line. But instead of exposing corruption or hypocrisy, the contents painted a different picture entirely. The email was one he had written months earlier to a small group of staffers. It wasn't filled with secrets or plots, it was raw, honest, and deeply personal. In it, he had urged his team to remember why they served, to never put ambition above integrity, and to always treat every American, rich or poor, Republican or Democrat, with the dignity they deserved. "I don't care if you're answering calls from a single mother in Louisiana," the email read, "or responding to a CEO in New York. You treat them both like their voice matters. Because it does. Politics ain't about power. It's about PEOP.